Shalom, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, B'Hashem Rachak Kodash. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables Camp. This is Luke 21:9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. As you should already know, that the United States, which is spiritually Babylon, Egypt, Sodom, Gomorrah, has given permission, meaning they're directing the Ukrainian soldiers to shoot missiles into Russia. So that's escalating the war as the war is moving forward. So let's go to what the Russians are saying, Gog, in the scriptures. So I'm going to read on their site. It says, experts react to Russia's new nuclear doctrine. So you read that. Let's go down to, it says, while Russian President Vladimir Putin has tried to be cautious throughout the Ukraine conflict to avoid escalation, the current U.S. administration seems to be doing the opposite, according to political strategists and commentator. We got Anthony Weber. I'm going to read one above that first. It says, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, who is now the deputy chairman, that's below it, of the National Security Council, said the new rules have the potential to trigger a third world war if Kiev decides to use NATO weapons to attack Russia. See, and then they're blurring the lines, what's NATO weapons and what's American weapons. It's the same weapons, right? So, but somehow they have to make a distinction, or they may not have to. In this case, the right arises to launch a retaliatory strike with weapons of mass destruction against Kiev and the main NATO facilities, wherever they are. And this is already World War III. He wrote on his Telegram channel, warning that Ukraine and its allies should be prepared for such retaliatory measures. So, like I just read, wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must come to pass. So we're going to be hearing these different rumors of war and wars escalating, but the end is not yet, because the implant has to be implemented for it to be. That's a key point when Revelation 13:15 on down is mandatory. So let's listen into the commentator. It's Thomas Roper, Roeper, his last name.
Well, for me, it's internal political question. Biden wants to disturb all efforts of Trump to find a peaceful way out of this crisis, and he took several decisions which will escalate the conflict and which will make it complicated for Trump to leave. For example, Biden allowed U.S. specialists now to maintain and repair American weapons like F-16 or Patriots in Ukraine. And now imagine a Russian rocket hits such a place and kills 10 Americans, which are sent there by the U.S. government. CNN will make a big story of it. Russia is killing Americans, and then Trump will have a real problem to say, well, let's find a peaceful way out. And this decision now...
Yeah, Trump is not the savior, okay? He's not going to prevent all wars, okay? He may very well be the last sitting president of Babylon, America, the daughter of Babylon, all right, which America is, all right? There's no prophecy that says that Trump is going to stop all the wars. The prophecy is that the world, as we know it, Esau's world, so-called white man's world, is going to end through war, through nuclear war. So let's see, they're playing a game too, because remember, they're all going to agree to accept all the nations, all right, that have electricity and that you're able to reach. They're all going to agree to accept the implant that's going to go on your right hand or your forehead, all right? So they disagree on all the geopolitics, the economy, but that's one thing they are going to agree on, all right? And then when they fall out of favor, they're going to shoot their nuclear fire on Babylon, America, and on the land of the Khazars.
Shooting at Russia with long distance rockets, and a possible answer of Russia also will make it more complicated for Trump to get out of this conflict. So I think this is really an attack against the peace efforts of Trump.
So why was the news about the attackams only released through the media reports? Why hasn't Biden confirmed them himself? What are you interpreting to this?
Well, it's complicated. Somehow I think they don't really want to make it official, but they don't deny it. So it's out already for how long? 2 days, 1.5 days? And they...
That's interesting. That there wasn't a news report for the, according to what he's saying. I didn't look it up. That there wasn't I don't think there was on like officially well, we're directing the Ukrainians, because they're directing them. They're maintaining they're making the repairs. Americans or NATO forces, it's classified, top secret, I guess. So if they're not making it public, like they're working like behind the scenes, because they don't want need to know to have a strategic advantage, but they know. Right, they found out. It wasn't an official announcement. So
only released through the media reports. Why hasn't Biden confirmed them himself? What are you interpreting to this?
Well, it's complicated. Somehow I think they don't really want to make it official, but they don't deny it. So it's out already for how long? 2 days, 1.5 days, and they don't deny it. So I agree to the ladies in the studio. It's official. In Europe, it's confirmed. They don't deny it. Maybe I don't know. They want for the public keep some way out. I don't have any idea why they're doing this, but I can't see any doubt that this is done. That the decision is made. As you see, we have no denial, and we have confirmance from the EU.
Now, from this scenario, do you think President Biden is truly the one behind this decision?
Well, I think President Biden is not really behind any of the decisions of the last 4 years, but I'm not very inside in the U.S. government. As far as we have seen from media reports, there are people inside the government against this decision, but someone did it, and someone made it public. This is something. Well, it's a leak to the New York. I think New York Times was the first. So somebody leaked it, and the decision is made. I'm not really inside of the U.S. government to comment the internal, let's say, conflicts and discussions and debates.
All right. Now, if these missiles are used, what would stop Moscow handing advanced weapons to Yemen's Houthis in response, for example, to use against American targets?
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. So, well, if they're going to give Ukraine the ability to strike inside Russia, why don't we just arm? They're Edomites, just like the white man over here. So, and it's whether they're Edomites or not is not relevant. But arming both sides, that's something that you do when you want to control the narrative. So. Yeah, so if they arm them, then they could escalate the war in the state of Israel.
I think the answer is simple: nothing, and it's not on the Houthis. Don't forget that we have like 800 soldiers.
All right, now, if these missiles are used, what would stop Moscow handing advanced weapons to Yemen's Houthis in response, for example, to use against American targets?
I think the answer is simple: nothing, and it's not on the Houthis. Don't forget that we have like 800 soldiers, U.S. soldiers in eastern Syria, against any international law, and they are occupying parts of Syria. So they are also absolutely reachable for weapons which Russia can give to somebody in the region. There are many places in the world where Russia can deliver weapons as an answer on this decision.
All right, we have.
There you go. So they're in Syria. I almost forgot about the different CIAs and government forces, American government forces in Syria. That was originally, you know, they wanted to overthrow the Syrian government. So there you have it. War is escalating, as Yahushua said. These things must come to pass, wars and commotions. All right, so they're going to be arming each other. And see, in the United States, America, Babylon has always done that. All right, that option that this news reporter put up, that's what America always does. They always arm both sides, arm all sides to put forth their will, to cause confusion so they can come in and capitalize later. Same thing they did with Saddam Hussein. So, yeah. The Russians, I'm sure the Russians are already doing that anyway. That's why the Russians helped Syria out, so they wouldn't, the country wouldn't fall. It would put, you know, America, Babylon closer to their goal. So the Russians went in there and aided Syria. So yeah, I can see the Russians arming different, you know, groups, countries around the world to meet the balance of power out. Let's see how far this takes it and how soon. So 2025 definitely is going to be an interesting year. Well, we got the rest of the year. We got another month and a week or so left in 2024. So I'll leave that there. Hope you're edified. Shalom.